Homegrown startup beauty brands have been on a roll in India. Scores and scores of new age skincare brands have cropped up since the pandemic, and all of them harp on the science of skincare. And their whole appeal is transparency. Transparency about ingredients that go into each of their products. And among all of them, Minimalist is the one that really stands out. It is an active ingredients based skincare company, so it sells things like niacinamide for brightening, retinol for fine lines, vitamin C, glycolic acid, salicylic acid, and so on and so forth. It launched around the end of 2020, and within a span of 8 months, it built a 1,000 crore rupee business. And what's even more surprising is that the brand has remained in the green, meaning profitable, from the very first month itself. But for years, legacy brands like Pond's and L'Oreal and HUL have been selling products with similar ingredients. The only difference is that they either did not launch them in India or they kept the names of the ingredients hidden away in tiny fonts at the back of the bottles. It was Minimalist that came around and broke that mold. And now, seeing the success of brands like Minimalist, legacy brands are rethinking their strategy. Case in point, Hindustan Unilever. The company has been wanting to turn its beauty and well-being portfolio into a high-growth premium category for a while now. And the acquisition of Minimalist is a big step in that direction. But how did a brand like Minimalist manage to do something that a giant like HUL could not? Welcome to Daybreak, a business podcast from the Ken. I'm your host Nigdha Sharma, and I don't chase the news cycle. Instead, every day of the week, my colleague Rahil Philippos and I will come to you with one business story that is worth understanding and worth your time. Let us take niacinamide, for example. It is one of Minimalist's star products. Even co-founder Mohit Yadav uses it for his skincare routine. So, what exactly is niacinamide? It is actually a form of vitamin B3, and it is present in the food that you eat, in your greens, in your eggs, fish, etc., etc. When used on skin, it reduces inflammation and it also helps with brightening. But guess what? Niacinamide is the hero ingredient in your Pond's Light Moisturizer and also in Olay's Total Effects Face Moisturizer. The difference is that Minimalist names the chemical upfront. In fact, Minimalist's product is named after the chemical itself. So, is this Minimalist's success formula? My colleague Nuha Babere asked Anish Sheth, the co-founder of Dr. Sheth's, a dermaceutical skincare company. He said it is nothing new really. Minimalist is a high-quality brand that comes at a low price, which is what Indians love. So yes, it has hit the bullseye. It came in at the right time, at the right place, and with the right kind of messaging. This was a time when skincare was all about natural ingredients. And that is because no beauty and personal care brand was ready for a conversation about chemicals that they were using. Plus, a big myth that chemicals are bad got busted. We spoke about this extensively in our first special Friday episode, and I will link it to the show notes of this one. So, when Minimalist launched its products during the pandemic, the market was ready for it. Nuha spoke to the co-founder Mohit Yadav, and he told her, and I'm quoting, initially, they felt that it would take a lot of time to create awareness and educate people about actives in skincare. But there were a large number of customers already, so the 0 to 1 journey was not very challenging. The company also has the advantage of controlling prices of most of its products in the 300 to 700 rupees range because it manufactures them in-house. Now this is a huge advantage for its acquirer HUL. But wait, why couldn't a L'Oreal or a Pond's or even HUL for that matter do the same thing? Priyanka Agarwal, who was a brand manager for L'Oreal, explained why. It is because L'Oreal imports its products. She also pointed out how Minimalist's success also has a lot to do with the rigorous quality checks that the company conducts as compared to other brands. In fact, Mohit Yadav told the Ken that Minimalist works with a 25-member research and development team. These are people with prior experience from L'Oreal and Estee Lauder. They invest 2 to 5% of their business in R&D. And the company has one manufacturing facility in Jaipur and is currently developing a second one. Stay tuned for more on what legacy brands are up to. Before we get into what legacy brands have been doing so far, let us get one thing out of the way. What does this acquisition mean? Number one, it means that active ingredients-based skincare is not just a fad. It is here to stay. Number two, transparency on part of brands can go a long way, especially when it comes to skincare. And number three, this is a clear sign that 2025 could bring even more consolidation in the consumer space. Deals like this show that growing consumer brands with a solid user base and decent revenue are definitely worth investing in. Basically, it's a great thing for the industry in general. Now, coming to what legacy brands have been up to. Let's take HUL's Fair & Lovely, for example. It introduced it to the Indian market as early as 1975. And niacinamide was actually the product's main ingredient. But you know what the packaging said? Advanced multivitamins. They did not want to name the chemicals because back then people thought all chemicals are bad. But even now, when things have changed, Fair & Lovely, which thankfully is called Glow & Lovely now, still has the words advanced multivitamin printed on it, not the active ingredients. But the shifting consumer preference from natural ingredients to active ones like retinol and vitamin C and the success that brands like Minimalists have seen in India have prompted legacy players to adapt to market trends. I mean, HUL took it so seriously that it has actually gone and acquired Minimalist. Others have resorted to changing the packaging of their products like Pond's. Even L'Oreal, the world's largest beauty and cosmetics company, doubled down on the Indian market with the launch of its dermatological beauty brand called CeraVe in November 2023. Meanwhile, it also started selling the French brand La Roche-Posay in India. It also relaunched its luxury skincare arm Lancôme in 2022 because of the demand for premium skincare brands. Neutrogena, which is owned by Johnson & Johnson, upgraded its popular moisturizer to add hyaluronic acid in 2023. Olay from Procter & Gamble also introduced products like Regenerist Retinol 24 Night Cream in its premium range. In fact, even HUL has been on it for a while. It launched Acne Squad, an active ingredient-based product, in October 2022 and also Novology, a dermaceutical product, in May 2023. But being a legacy brand has its own disadvantages. Someone from HUL who did not want to be named told my colleague Noha that the company is so big and so bureaucratic in nature that instead of taking a speedy approach like other D2C brands, they always end up being late to the party. So, what can they do? Other legacy brands can take notes from what India's digital-first beauty company Honasa Consumer has done with its more than $1 billion worth Mamaearth. Instead of diluting Mamaearth, which has always marketed its products as being toxin-free and natural, Honasa built brands such as Aqualogica and Dermaco and acquired Dr. Sheth's in May 2022. This was to cater to specific skin concerns and target this demographic. The company also leveraged the Mamaearth distribution network to penetrate these brands offline. In the 6 months to September 2023, nearly 13% of Honasa's revenue came from its new products like salicylic acid serum and face wash, among others from the active-based ingredients skincare category. Minimalist, meanwhile, needed to scale and grow more categories. And now, it shouldn't be so hard to pull off for the brand thanks to HUL's massive distribution network and backing.
Daybreak is produced from the newsroom of the Ken, India's first subscriber-focused business news platform. What you're listening to is just a small sample of our subscriber-only offerings. A full subscription unlocks daily long-form feature stories, newsletters, and podcast extras. To subscribe, head to theken.com and click on the red subscribe button on the top of the Ken website. Today's episode was hosted by Snigdha Sharma and edited by Rajiv CN.